So just a quick video today, some encouraging news here. Many people were really worried that as the pandemic started to really affect the TV and film industry, some people got freaked out and thought that this is the beginning of the end for, I don't know, sync licensing or the music business or something, because obviously everything sort of took a hit. Everything really slowed down for a little bit there. But this is an article from Digital Music News. I'll have the link below if you guys want to check it out. According to this report, the record industry grew 27% during 2021's first half. Check out this mid-year revenues chart here from 2019, 2020 to 2021. It's grown consistently through the pandemic. So that's actually really, really cool to see that this thing has not taken out a big chunk of this industry. And the more important thing, obviously, that I saw in this article was a little blurb about our friend Sync Licensing, which we always want to know. And the RIAA reported a 6.4% uptick for sync licensing, which delivered an even 137 million during 2021's initial half. So that means that sync licensing is getting even more popular, profitable, more revenue is being generated for sync licensing. Not a huge amount, but it's not going down, right? And I think a lot of people, when they were seeing the pandemic start and where it was going, a lot of people felt that maybe there was going to be a huge problem for all of us that are in sync licensing. But if there were a big problem, you wouldn't see articles like this being written. You wouldn't see reports like this going out there. And you certainly wouldn't hear about sync licensing revenue increasing throughout all this kind of stuff. So I hope this gives you some encouragement that it's not the end of the world. It's definitely the opposite of the end of the world. In fact, I feel like, as I've said when the pandemic started and as it just continued on, I said this is going to be a huge opportunity for some of you that can really capitalize on this shifting economy in the world, in this sort of state of flux, where a lot of you had a lot of free time and were able to start making some music and be more productive in the side of the business. And for those of you that did that, I hope you're starting to see now that your effort was the right choice, because you are seeing actually more growth in the side of the business, despite the world feeling like it was about to end there for a couple of months. But now things are obviously really opening back up, and getting back to the way we used to do things. Of course, there's always going to be a long process before masks are no longer here and all that kind of stuff. But I do feel that like we are sort of over the worst of all the stuff that was going to be happening, and we're really getting back to normal. And the fact that the revenues have grown through the worst of it, that's a really, really encouraging sign to see that this is a very strong industry. It's still a thriving industry, and it has a way to go. It's going to blossom. If you guys have followed me for a long time, you know that I'm sort of forever the optimist about this business, that you can see it both ways. I actually won't say that there is a sort of true way to look at the future of this industry, because who am I? I can't look into the future. I have no idea what the future is going to bring. But there are many producers, and it's unfortunate when I run into them, who will decide to be very pessimistic about the industry and just look at the negatives of what's happening right now and the negatives they are afraid of that are going to happen in the future. So they're always comparing, how the industry was 10 years ago to how it is today. And they're like, well, it's not as good. This is different. That's different. This is not as good. The sync fees maybe aren't as big. So they'll basically just start racking up all these cons, these negatives about what they're not liking about it. But the same producers will a lot of times not even look at the positives and not even look at the potential for new revenue sources and new income streams that are sort of opening up more and more these days. And the amount of content out there through the streaming services and platforms and just all the TV shows and everything out there that needs music, that has just been exploding since, for 30 years now, 40 years now, since cable sort of came online, right? So you really are doing yourself a disservice if you're only looking at a column of negatives that you see happening, because there definitely are some things that are challenging. There are some things that are not as lucrative as they used to be. But just like in life, it's not like the whole world is caving in on this and there's nothing good to look forward to. If you see the world that way, then you just won't have eyes to see the opportunities when they present themselves. So, articles like this, I always wanted to highlight them to just show you guys that it's not just me believing in great things and hopefully great things happen. It's not like mumbo jumbo. There are real opportunity. There's real opportunity out there, and there's real growth happening. And you can see it in the numbers, actually. So I hope this gives you some encouragement to keep on going and stay the course.